Hello my dear friends, hope all of you are doing well by keeping yourself safe. So in your previous video we have learned about the equivalent resistors and the voltages when they are connected in either series or the parallel combination. However, these formulas are not always sufficient to determine all the currents and the potential differences in the electrical circuit. This type of calculations become easier if we use two rules given by Sir Gustav Kirchhoff. Let's discuss what are the rules. So our topic is for today is Kirchhoff's rule. The rule was invented by Gustav Kirchhoff and can be used to analyze any kind of circuit, like maybe simple or the complex one. These rules are special cases for the conservation of the charge and the energy. So the rule can be used in any electrical circuit, maybe either simple or the complex one. So what are the Kirchhoff's first rule? It is also called the junction rule. The sum of all the currents entering a junction, the junction can be sometimes called a node, must equal to the currents leaving the junction. And the Kirchhoff's second rule, what it states, it is also called the loop rule. The algebraic sum of the changes in the potential around any closed circuit path, or maybe sometimes it is called the loop, must be 0. Now we will discuss details on these two rules. So this is the Kirchhoff's first rule. It is also called the Kirchhoff's current law. So you can see at any junction, this is the junction point, the I1 current is entering here of 11 ampere, and if there is two currents separated from this junction, I2 and I3, and if you can see, this is I2 having the, suppose I2 has a value of 7 ampere and I3 has a value of 4 ampere. So if I add these two current I2 and I3, I will get the value of I1. So you can see it is the application of the conservation of the charge in a junction. As we all know that the current is the flow of the charge, or better to say the electron flow. So whatever the charge flows inside any junction must flow out. So first rule proves that this is the charge conservation. So whatever the current or the charge it flows into the junction must flow out. So it is mainly the charge conservation. So from the Kirchhoff's first rule we will get the charge conservation idea. So now this is the Kirchhoff's second rule, or better to say the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So now you can see the second rule or the loop rule is the conservation of the energy. Here we can get to know whatever the energy is supplied by the EMF or the external voltage source must be transferred in other forms by the devices in the loop, as there is no other ways that the energy can be transferred into or out of the current, out of the circuit, better to say. So you can see from this circuit, this is the voltage source, and this is the three resistances connected in series, 0.5 ohm, 6 ohm and 2.5 ohm. So from the circuit here you can see that the electrical cell provides a constant voltage of 18 volt. The voltage produced by the cell will be distributed across the resistances present in the circuit depending on their values. So that there are three different values of the resistances. So depending on the values of the resistances, there will be different kind of potential drop across the resistances. So now we need to find the current in the circuit through each branch, and then if we try to calculate the potential drop across each of the resistors, the sum of all the total voltage drop across all the resistors, if we add up, it will provide the total voltage supplied by the external battery or the cell. So here mostly we ignore the internal resistance of the battery of the cell. So from this circuit you can see this is the equivalent current. I is equal to the voltage supplied is 18 volt divided by the total resistance in the circuit, that is 6 plus 2.5 plus 0.5 ohm. So we will get the current, equivalent current is 2 ampere. So now if we try to calculate the potential drop across the 0.5 ohm resistance, it will be 0.5 times 2, that is 1 volt. Similarly, the potential drop across the 6 ohm, what it will be? 6 times 2, that is 12 volt. Similarly, the potential drop across 2.5 ohm, it will be 5 volt. So if we just calculate all together, so it will be 5 plus 12 plus 1. So this is the 18 volt, this is the voltage supplied by the external source or the battery. So now we will consider following the circuit to get a better understanding. And so now we will consider the following circuit to get a better understanding about the idea of the KCL and the KVL. So you can see this is the following circuit. It has the two loop A, B, C, F, A. Another one is F, C, D, E, F. So now you can see this is the node here. C is called the node or the junction. Now if I consider here in this point, in this branch, the current is flowing, that is I1. And so it, in the junction it gets separated, and this direction the current is flowing is I2. and in this direction the current is flowing is I3. So here also it is I3, and here also it is I2, and again I2 plus I3 will add up in this direction, so it will give I1. So now I am traversing around this loop ABCFA in this direction. So I am traversing the loop in this direction. Similarly for this FCDEF, I am also traversing the loop in this direction. So now you can see that in this junction I will write that I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. So now from the loop ABCFA, if I consider the loop ABCFA, this means ABCFA, you can see if I write this is the, in this direction the current is I1 in this direction, so it will be, the voltage drop will be 0.5 times I1 plus, from the 6 ohm the current is passing is I2, so 6 times I2 plus 2.5 times I1. In this direction the current is also I1 in the branch 2.5 ohm. So now I see in the negative terminal of the battery, so it will get minus 18, I will write, is equal to 0. So this is the total voltage drop if I traversing the loop in this direction for the loop ABCFA. So I will write it like 3.3 I1 plus 6 I2 is equal to 18. This is our equation number 1. Similarly from the loop FCDEF, I can write that I am traversing in this direction. This is the direction of the traversing of the loop. So from through 1.5 ohm the current is passing is I3. So I will write that 1.5 times I3. So 1.5 times I3 plus 0.5 times I3, because I3 is flowing through 0.5 ohm, plus I will see the positive terminal of the battery in this direction of the traversing, so it will become plus 45 minus 6 of I2, because I am traversing in this direction, but I am assuming that I2 is in from right to left, but I am traversing in right to left, left to right, so it will be minus of 6 I2 is equal to 0. So it becomes 2 I3 minus 6 I2 is equal to minus of 45. So this is our equation number 2. So if I just, suppose this is our equation number 3. So if I just solve equation number 1, 2 and 3, because there are two unknowns, so one is I1, I2 and I3, so I must be 3 different equations. So if I solve it, I will get the value of I3 is equal to minus of 8.52 ampere, I2 is equal to 4.84 ampere. Similarly I1 I will get as minus of 3.68 ampere. So you can see that the value of the I3 is -1 and I1 is also -1. So I assume that I3 to be from C to D, but the direction of I3 will be from D to C. Similarly I assume that the direction of the I1 to be from B to C, but the original direction of the I1 will be from C to B. So the magnitude of these currents will not change, but the direction will change. So this is our next problem. There is also almost the same kind of problem like the previous one. So we can see there is also two loop ABCFA. This is another one loop, and there is also another loop FCDEF. So this is the C is called the, like before, it is the node or the junction point. So in the node we can write that suppose I am taking, this is the direction of the current I1 and it's splitted here. In this direction it is I2 and in this direction it is I3. So in this direction it is also I3, this is I2 and this is I1. So this is the direction of the traversing through this loop, and this is the direction of the traversing for this loop. So now I will write in for the node junction I1 is equal to I2 plus I3, and from the loop ABCFA, so I will write that in this direction the current I1 is flowing through 2 ohm, so I will write 2 I1. In this direction through the 1 ohm the current I2 is flowing, so plus I2. 1 times I2 means I2. So I will see the negative terminal of the battery, so it will be minus 0.6. While I am traversing, so there will be negative terminal of the battery, so I will write minus 0.6. Plus through 1 ohm the current is passing I1, plus I1, minus I will see the negative terminal of the battery while I am traversing in this direction, so it will be minus of 0.5 is equal to 0. So from there I will write 3 I1 plus I2 is equal to 1.1. This is our equation number 1. And so now from the loop FCDEF we will write that, so I will be traversing in this direction, so from 2 ohm the current is passing is I3, so 2 I3. Then I will write in this 1 ohm the current is passing also I3 plus I3. Now I will see the positive terminal of the battery, so I will write plus of 2.3 plus through 5 ohm the current is passing I3, so it will be 5 times I3. Now I will see the again positive terminal of the battery, so I will write plus 0.6 minus in this direction I am assuming the current I2 is flowing from C to F, but while I am traversing in this loop FCDEF I will going from F to C, so it will be minus of I2 is equal to 0. So 8 I3 plus 2.9 minus I2 is equal to 0. So this is our equation number 2. Suppose this is our equation number 3. So now if I put I1 plus I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 in equation number 1, putting I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 in equation 1. So what I will get, 3 times I2 plus I3, so we can write 3 times I2 plus I3 plus I2 is equal to 1.1, so it becomes 4 times I2 plus 3 times I3 is equal to 1.1. This is suppose equation number 4. So now from 2 and 4, from 2 and 4 we can write comparing I3. So you can see this is the equation number 2 and this is the equation number 4. So from 2 and 4 comparing I3 you can write that I2 minus 2.9 divided by 8 is equal to 1.1 minus 4 I2 divided by 3. So we will write get I2 is equal to 0.5 ampere. Similarly we will get I3 is equal to I2 minus 2.9 divided by 8, so it will be minus 0.3 ampere, and we can get that I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 is equal to 0.2 ampere. So you can see that the direction, the magnitude of the current is I1 is equal to 0.2 ampere, so it is flowing in this direction, which is correctly mentioned here, and the direction of the current is I3, so the I3 has a value of minus 0.3 ampere. So the direction of the current will be, I am showing here from C to D, but the original direction of the current I3 will be from D to C. Similarly the current of I2 is 0.5 ampere, so it is correctly drawn here from C to F. So you have seen how I have calculated the required current along with its specific direction using both KCL and the KVL. Every time you need to be fixed in one direction and traverse around that direction in the loop or the maze. Whenever you see negative terminal of the battery, there will be a negative sign. And if you specify the current in one direction and while traversing you see the direction of the traverse is opposite to the direction at which you specified the current, the minus sign will come on the calculation. So my friends, I am concluding my discussion here. Hope all of you are following Invisible Threads. If you are new here, please do like, share and subscribe us. Stay tuned and keep supporting Invisible Threads. Thank you.